What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to tutorial 80, and today I'll be going to talk about how to export JSON data from Neo4j graph database. So in the last few tutorials we have seen how to export data in the form of CSV file or in the form of pandas data frame from Neo4j graph database. In that tutorial we use actually very simple Cypher queries, and also we have seen how to do the same thing from Python. But in this tutorial we'll see how to export the Neo4j data in the form of JSON file using Apoc procedure. So this is the probably the first tutorial on Apoc procedure. We have done some tutorials in the past, but in the actual sense, like what is the use of Apoc procedure and all, so you guys will get some idea from this tutorial. So we'll be going to use some Apoc procedure, the built-in Apoc procedure, and this will actually going to help you to export the data in the form of JSON file from Neo4j graph database. This is going to be very simple and precise tutorial, probably 5 to 10 minutes tutorial, but this is going to be very handy, and most of the time those are already working in Neo4j graph or any graph data science project, for them actually this is going to be a regular job, like using Apoc procedure to get the get the JSON data from any of the Neo4j graph database. So this is a sample graph. We'll be going to use the same graph like New York metro station data. Next thing is that use case. Again, let me just reiterate this thing again. Generate JSON file from Neo4j graph using Apoc procedure. So this is going to be the use case. So we'll be going to write one Apoc, we'll be going to use one built-in Apoc procedure to get the JSON data from Neo4j graph database, and after that we'll be going to export the file. Okay, and this is going to be code. So we have some prerequisite for this thing. So let me just open this thing. So if you open your Neo4j browser, just go to settings, and if you go to settings, you will see you need to enable these two things. The first thing is going to be enable you to save your file in any directory in your file system, and next thing is going to enable the file export feature. Okay, so let me just copy this thing, and probably I will create one new slide. So what I'll do, QUI prerequisite. So then maybe design ideas, maybe we'll get some design ideas. Okay, that's it. So prerequisite has been set up. Now I'll be going to write the code first. So first what I'll do, I'll just going to write the normal Cypher query first. After that we'll be going to use the same Cypher query from Python. So let me just save this thing, then minimize this thing. So this is my Jupyter notebook. So let me open Neo4j browser. So let me just show you guys what is the graph. So if I run match and return in, so you'll get, this is our graph. So there are a lot of data. So if you see, we have we have some 34 train nodes, 266 like stations. So this is the same data whatever we are using in the last few tutorials. I haven't changed anything, even actually I didn't create anything. So we are using the same data, but that is not the task. So in today's tutorial the main task is call, then we'll be going to write Apoc. Okay, then export, then JSON did all, and after that we have to just give a file name. Okay, so in our case my directory is kind of let me check my directory, as I am using in in Mac machines, it is kind of Linux. So let me just write cd/users, let me ls, so Ronnie. So what I'll do, I will just write cd users, then Ronnie. So what will happen here, if you have a directory called Ronnie, inside that I have a folder called data. Inside that I'll be going to create a file. Okay, so what I'll do, data, and after that we're going to create a JSON file. So what we'll do, we'll just write graph.json. So right now if you see, I'm inside the data folder. I have no file with this graph.json name. So let's try to run this thing. Okay, So something is happening. If you see, the graph data is created, this is the data, and if you check on this thing, this is the source file format, everything actually came. Okay, so total nodes is this, relation is this, total number of nodes, total number of relation, format, nodes, everything came actually. There are total to 894 rows, everything here. So what I'll do, we'll just go and check from here. So see, I got a file with graph.json. So we have exported that data only, that file only. If you see here, my file name is graph.json, right? So let me just open this thing. You will see your whole data in the form of, see, this is graph.json. I open it using Visual Studio Code. So if you see, type is node, id 0, label equals to train, property is equals to name. So like this, I am getting each and everything. Okay, so everything is actually exported here, right? If you see here, all our things are exported, right? So I believe whatever we are expecting, it's everything is here, right? Yes. Let me just, if you see here, we have some, this thing, this is actually nodes and nodes are separately until this point, and after that here actually nodes and relationship together. If you check this thing, id 0, type relationship, and like this goes to start id this, label train, and id 6, label 10. Like this way this is actually coming, right? Like this. Okay, so let me just do one thing. Let me try to run this thing again from Python. So before I do this thing, let me just explain this thing. If you do here, you will get very simple thing, and there is another way of learning this thing. So what I'll do, I'll just go to Google. If you want to learn something more on this thing, so Apoc, and after that what you have to do, you have to just like this. If you copy and paste this thing, hopefully this will open. Yes, I believe this is fine. I don't know, not here. I am looking for the documentation, probably this one. Yes, hopefully. So if you want to learn more about this thing, this is the documentation, probably. Okay, I just forget this thing. Let's try to run this thing with this thing. Let's see. So comma, and like this. I was missing this thing. So again I got the same file. So let's open this thing now. So I don't know any difference has been made or not, but let me open everything. Let's try to open this thing. See, I got the same thing. So I don't know what is the difference between this thing. So it means everything is like we are going to read everything, like all nodes, relationship, label, and everything. But at this moment there is not much difference. So you guys can go through this documentation, like where it is. So it will give you some more idea. Okay. Okay, so next thing is that we'll be going to try out the same thing from Cypher. Okay, so let me just rename this thing. So this is going to be, let me just say for Neo4j tutorial underscore 80, Neo4j underscore tutorial underscore 80, and after that we'll write tutorial 80, and after that we'll write export JSON data as JSON file from Neo4j graph database using Apoc procedures. Okay, so now let me make it heading. Cool. Why this line is not getting changed? Let me cut this thing here like this. Okay, it's changed. Then let's create some line. So let's start writing the code. So it should be from Neo4j import graph database, right? So let's create the driver now. Driver equals to graph database dot driver. So we are going to use URI equals to this, and we'll be going to auth like this, like this. So it should be Neo4j. Okay, like this. So now I'll be going to establish the connection using the bolt protocol address. So go to detail, copy the bolt protocol address, paste it over here, run this thing. No error means everything is working fine. Let's create one session object. So it should be driver dot session, right? Cool, everything is fine. So let's write down the query. Okay, query is going to be this one, right? But what I'll do, I'll just not going to use this the whole thing. So let me explain what I'll do, but I don't need this one at this moment. Okay, let's run this thing. Let's now we'll run the query actually. So session dot run equals to q1. Okay, so what I'll do, I will I'm just thinking let's create a different name, graph data from python.json. okay, we'll give the new name. So let's run this thing, let's execute. So the funny thing is that we executed this thing. So when we execute this thing here, it will immediately it actually immediately generated this thing. But if you see here, I haven't got any file over here. It's supposed to be graph underscore data from Python, something we have given name. Yes, the name is graph data from python.json, but it is not created. So for that, what you have to do, you have to just call this method data. So if you see, my file name is created, I got the nodes and relationship, the format is JSON, nodes is this, relationship count is this, total 421 properties, the something time is in some millisecond, then rows, then all these things are available. So if you see here, CI data is generated. So this is funny, right? Actually, when we execute this thing using the session.run the run method, it is not going to like generate anything. But when you call this thing the result set, like this is actually result set using dot data method, then actually it is generated this thing. So we'll change this thing again. So let's give a new name. Okay, and if you see here, nothing got generated. So what I'll do, I will just execute this line again. So see, python.json, python1.json, and there is a new file, python1.json. And if you compare this thing, both are actually same file. There is not much difference. Let's open this thing again. So all are same file. So this is graph.json, same file. This is also same file. And this is also same file. All are same file actually. Okay. So this is very simple tutorial how to generate data in the form of JSON file from a Neo4j graph database using Apoc and Python. So what we'll do, we'll just take a screenshot of this thing. Done. Then probably, where is my PowerPoint? I don't know where is my PowerPoint slide. Let me, yes, it is here. So let's insert this thing download. Yes, so done. So hopefully I need to change so many things now, cause yes, I think this looks good. Okay, done. So save, close. Let me not here. Let me save this thing. Okay, that's it, done. So guys, what we did actually, the main part is this. Okay, so this call is actually going to call the procedure in Neo4j. In Apoc, and Apoc has so many procedures, so that is why I just use this. This is the actual procedure, and just because this is Apoc procedure, you have to call this using Apoc dot. Okay, and after that export json.all is going to export the data. There are multiple different, all these things are actually built-in procedure. I just want to highlight this thing, but if you can if you are comfortable to write some procedure by your own using Java code, or if you are comfortable and strong enough in Java, then definitely you can write your own custom procedure as well. So Neo4j is that much flexible. Okay, so we are using call keyword or call clause to execute the procedure, and in that procedure we just passing the argument or the file name as a parameter. Okay, and after that you have to just again execute this thing using dot method when the result set. Actually this is going to give you the result set, and from the result set, if you call this thing using dot data, this is actually generate the file and give you this output. Okay, this is very simple. So that's it guys. As you can see, we are actually now moving towards the intermediate to advanced concepts. So all these things are going to be used in industry, mainly in the real world application or real world use cases where heavily or a huge number of data or huge number of investments are involved. Investment means in terms of money, time, in or maybe resource, or maybe some business decision or strategy. Actually based on the data, nowadays companies are deciding their future roadmap, everything. So that is why this sort of use cases are very important, and while doing these use cases, if you use the appropriate techniques, and if you can give some valuable input within the within the given time window, or maybe the lesser time window, then definitely your company will be benefited, and definitely you will be benefited in terms of a graph analyst or graph data expert, or whatever field you are working. So that is why Apoc is going to be very important. You can do the same thing using Python, whatever you did in the last tutorial, but if you see, there is some time limitation. Maybe the time taken by the normal Cypher query or the Python query or the for loop will be going to huge. If you see here, I'm just using this JSON data without using any for loop. But if you are going to do using the normal Python, first of all you will read using match and match query, and after that you will be going to use unwind, and after that, while getting the unwind and hold the data set, you will be using the data. To get the data from the data, you are going to use pandas data frame method to convert the data into pandas data frame. After getting the pandas data frame, you can create a JSON file. So there are 4 or 5 different steps are involved, but if you're using Apoc and you are you use the same Apoc method directly in your Python code, it is going to be much more faster and much more efficient. So that is why these things are going to be very useful. So that is why I'm just creating this small piece of tutorial, so that you guys will be able to understand which tutorial or which technique is going to be used for which purpose. Okay, so enough of talking guys, probably we can close this video now. But before I close this video, I would like to recommend you guys try to do some sort of practice. This is 18th tutorial number 80, so we have covered so many things. So this is the right time to do some sort of practice. Grab your pen and paper, grab your system, try to do some sort of coding in between. If you are having any doubt or question, or if you want us to include some other use cases, please feel free to let me know. And if you have any complaint, or if you want us to improve our quality, please write back to us in our video description, below the video description, which is the comment box, or you can directly reach out to me via WhatsApp and email, and probably you can also send me personal messages. Okay, so that's it guys, we'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, and have a nice day.